Hey guys, welcome. It's Juanita with the Purposeful Point, and I'm excited about painting this with everybody. And I hope those of you who requested the tracer, I hope that you got it in your email. I sent it this morning. And like I said, you could either use the tracer or you can freestyle it. It's okay with me. So if you are here with me, make sure you give me some thumbs up. I like hearts better. So if you're here with me, give me some hearts. Let me know that you're here joining in, and we can go ahead and get started. I'm not going to, I'm just setting up this, another view. So, and then we'll take it down to the canvas. Guys, I also put a video in the event, talking about colors and where to find all of your things. So, I'm going to show you that. Let me look at my camera, get a little bit of more. And so let's take it down to the canvas. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Juanita. I am based out of Louisville. I'm an artist based out of Louisville, Kentucky, but I do paint parties. I do them in person and online. So if you are interested in doing something and setting up something with me online, that is also a possibility, or I am open to in person as well. So come on, let's get down here to the canvas. And like I said, I have everything. I'm showing you guys, as long as you have these 5 colors, you can create pretty much any color on the color wheel. Okay, so these are our 2 primaries, and you throw these 2 in to lift it or lower it as far as color. So hopefully you have your colors, and you can also go in the store and, find the colors that you need. You choose whichever colors that you would like to choose for your painting. I'm going to pretty much go with what I already have. What you guys, to watch that, go with what my example is, guys. I'm going with that. This is a tracer that I sent an email. Hopefully you guys have already traced it on your canvas. If you don't want to trace it and you want to freestyle, that's fine as well. But I did send this an email for anyone who sent me their email address for me to forward it to them. All right, so I'm going to go with the tracer. And so you guys, welcome as you come on in. Give me a heart or a thumbs up, or you can also comment and say hello in the comments if you so feel, if you would like to. All right, no obligation, guys. So as you can see, I've already I don't know if you can see that. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate you. Welcome. I don't know if you guys can see that because it is very light. I did use tracing paper or copy paper, whatever you guys to call. We used it when I was in middle school, when we had to write our multiplications over and over again. We just grabbed some copy paper, tracing paper, and did it one time on 2 separate sheets of paper. All right. Hello. All right. There's my soror. Welcome. Come on in, Danielle. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, this is my I traced it on there, and hopefully you got my email with the tracer, or you can freestyle. If you're going to freestyle, you can go ahead, and I'm going to show you on a piece of paper. All right. So if you're going to freestyle, you're going to take this. You can use a pencil or whichever you decide to throw that on there. And so basically my the head, it's tilted a little bit, but the J, I'm gonna have to draw that a little bit darker. But if you are freestyling, we're just gonna go with a J. It's off center a little bit, okay? And then her hand along her face, there, her arm, all right, and then her neck is back here, and then her shirt, and then we'll pull that in. So if you are freestyling, that's what you're going to draw to get the painting. So when I start, I am using 11 by 14. You guys are welcome to use paper. My example actually is on paper. It's what they call acrylic paper because it handles the acrylic paint very well. So you paint on whatever it is you choose to. I grabbed, this is a pretty standard, and I did show you guys some of these at the Dollar Tree. This is either a quarter, a 3/4, or a 1/2 inch flat brush. Always make sure you have a cup of water. I like to, in the beginning, we're using acrylic paint. It is water based and it helps, it spreads a lot better if my brush is a little bit wet. So I do dip that in water, and I don't want it dripping, so I will touch my brush to a paper towel. But I have, you guys, I use puppy pads to paint on, so I want to protect my surface, and also it's absorbent, so I can use it to get rid of excess water just by touching it on that. So I did start by painting her, and you guys can see I have my palette. I reuse this over and over again, so all of these are not wet paints, but I want to see how much paint that layers I can build up on here. So I'm starting out with this. This is my brown paint. Grab your brown paint or whichever color that you decided that you wanted her complexion to be. It can be darker, lighter, whichever color you would like it to be. So here, her face and her arm and her neck area. I'm just going to go, actually I'm going to go across, and yes, I'm painting over her lips, but the paint is so translucent that I can still see the outline of her lips. So when I want to go back and paint in her lips, I can. And so, okay, I'm also painting her neck. There's her neck area. Like I said, I'm just painting. Yes, I'm painting over the lines, but I can still see them even if I'm, outside the lines or whatever. So I'm just painting her complexion here. And if I go outside the lines, it's okay, because again, I'm going to come back over with different shades of paint. But if you would like to paint around your lines, feel welcome to. Do what works best for you. And if you need to work with a smaller brush, you can do that as well. I love this flat brush. I can't control it better. Now my lines here, it's not imperative that you like in the lines or even bring that up, because if you notice in her hair, this area is covered in hair. So it just depends on how far down you want to bring her hair. So it's not imperative that you go all the way up. And it's not imperative that you stay in the lines, because we're going to add paint around it, okay? So, kind of got that. And you have to decide how many layers that you want to put on there. If I want her darker, I'm going to put another layer to make the paint darker. If I want to make it darker, please feel free to ask me any questions if you have any questions, and stop me if I'm going too fast and all that good stuff. So now if I want her to be darker, now I can keep layering, putting paint on top of this now, but since the paint is still wet, the only thing you're going to be doing is just moving the paint around the canvas. It's not going to make it any darker. In order to make it, darken it, you're going to have to layer it. So the first layer, if I want it to be darker, is I add it, I let that dry, not completely, it doesn't have to dry completely, but at least the surface of the paint dry, so that I can put another layer on there. Because like I said, if you just keep, it's wet and you keep adding, all you're going to do is just move the paint around. It's not going to get any darker. So while I'm talking, I'm letting it dry a little bit. And so by nature, we tend to want to keep swiping and swiping. I always like to tell my students or my participants that we're not painting a wall. When you're painting a wall, you want to make sure it's got full coverage. There's no, that it's like really opaque. We're not painting a wall. It's okay. It doesn't have to be opaque, and you don't have to keep swiping over and over again. So although it's the swiping, I'm going to tell you guys, it's really relaxing. But resist the urge to not swipe as much. Sometimes it's not mandatory, but sometimes this will be a time where I might use a dryer to dry, a hair dryer, blow dryer, to speed up the process. But but I'm okay. I'm not going to go there with that. And so I'm going to put on another layer. And if it gets darker, that's fine. If not, I'll be all right with that. So I'm going to put on another layer. Can you see how it's darker here? It's not completely dry, but it was dry enough to handle another layer of paint on top. So that's what I'm doing. I'm adding another layer to darken it up a little bit. And again, I'm painting over all my lines because I can still see them underneath. So it's okay. I'm okay with that. Right, I do have a little bit of jazz music playing, a little chill music. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I chose the jazz music because a lot of times it's there's no copyright infringement to listen to the jazz music, so that's why I chose jazz. So that the only thing that Facebook really do is that they mute my videos, and then sometimes they mute it without having the background information. Then they'll come back and see them in a minute and say, hey, we muted your video, but now we're reinstating it because we found out there was no copyright infringement. All right, so I have that, my first layer. I have 2 layers down now. I'm going to go ahead and switch colors. Now I'm going to paint her her top, whichever you want. If you want it to show, I have a line here. If you want to show more skin, bring her neckline to here, open it up a little bit, bring it down. I want you to make this painting your painting. So when we start putting the details on at the end, you know, add a little of your flavor to it. Okay, so I am rinsing my brush out. That's while we have our water cup, I'm rinsing my brush out. I'm getting all that brown paint out of there. And again, and I just touched it to my paper towel. Let me grab a paper towel. You guys can't see me. So when I dip that in there, I don't want it to be runny. So I'm just touching it to my paper towel to get rid of the excess water. Okay, I want it to be wet, but I don't want it to be dripping wet. I am painting flat. I did mention that in the email, that a lot of times with the smaller canvases, for me, even with the bigger canvases, sometimes I'm at home, I'm more comfortable, I like it in my lap. So laying it flat with a smaller canvas, it's control. You can control it better. If you have a bigger canvas, then yes, an easel might be beneficial to you. But otherwise, nah. So I am grabbing my green paint. If you do not have green and you wish to use green, you guys know that you can mix yellow and blue to get the green, and until you get the shade that you would like. But I already have green paint mixed up, so I'm going to throw in my green. And sometimes it's important the direction that you're painting and the way this top is made. I want to go up and down because I like to give it the texture, the lines, give it that illusion. So sometimes the direction that you paint can give you an idea. It can give material the texture that it needs to look more realistic. Think that's what I'm trying to say. So you guys, who's ready for the summer? Meaning I'm ready for this cold weather to be all over already, and we actually haven't even started. Okay, so I do have lines here, and it's probably gonna if I paint those, since this is a darker color, it's gonna bury those lines there. So keep that in mind, as you can see. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that line there that I want it to stay. And actually you can see it a little bit under the green paint. But if you use a paint that's darker, I'm going to take, I'm not going to rinse that brush out. And I have black here on my palette. And I'm just going to dip the tip of that black there. And I don't want it to be too much. So I'm going to touch, after I put the black on the tip, I'm going to touch it on the palette to get rid of a little bit of it. Because if I want to use the black, I want to bring it in gradually. So that collar there, guys, can you see that that black paint on there? Just to make sure you can still see the lines. Designate between the sleeve and this section of her top. And so then I'm going to come back on top of that black a little bit with some green, so it's not such a stark black. Okay, you guys see that? And then still haven't rinsed that black out of my brush, because now it's just kind of blending in, and it's okay. I'm going to add some shadows. Okay. Okay, guys. There we go. So, again, you guys can see where I have put a little bit of shadow. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's the arm, and I'm going to dip that in the black again, the tip of my brush in the black, so that I can designate between her sleeve and her top, so it doesn't blend in and look like one. And I put that paint at the tip of my brush, and there's her sleeve. Okay, so now I'm going to dip it in more green, because I don't want it such a really stark. I want to bring the black down. It's like a really harsh, stark paint, so I want to tone it down some. That's what I'm trying to say. So now I am going horizontal with my paint, because if you think about it, your arm, and when you're going horizontal, it'll give it make it kind of look like it's rounding. Okay, so that's what I'm doing there. So it looks like her arm, her sleeve is rounded. Okay. All right, can you see that? A little shadow underneath, like underneath the sleeve. A little bit of shadow here. And I'm actually, I haven't added more black. It's still the black that's in my, and then there's a bit of a fold here in her top here. At the top, you can see it's rounded, a little bit of fold there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of that black is still in my brush. You guys can see that it looks a little bit darker there because that black is in my brush. Okay. So, a little shadow around the neck. All right, it's coming right along. Something that you might not see using the paper, that if you are using a canvas, you want to bring your painting around to the side. If you have this as a canvas, and if you have it hanging on the wall, if someone looks at it in this direction, you don't want it to show that it's white. So we are going to go ahead and wrap the painting around the canvas. Okay, so I'm going to bring my green around here. Now, normally when I'm painting, I do usually recommend that you paint your background first, but today We are not starting with the background. You guys see what I started with. Okay, and it's also at the bottom. You want to bring wrap the green around the bottom of your painting. How about that? So how's it look, guys? How's it look? How do you feel about your paintings? Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to let that dry, and I want to go back in, and you see how we've added shadow here under her neck, and then the shadow in the palm of her hand that's closest to her face, and a little bit of shadow underneath of her arm. I'm going to rinse the green out of my brush. Okay. And get that excess water out of there. All right. Pray for me. Danielle, I have so much faith in you. I know that you have skills. You can't tell me that you don't have skills. Okay. Okay, so actually I want to go ahead and jump in on her lips so that it can dry and I can get the shadows in there while it dries. So I'm going to grab a smaller brush, a smaller tip brush. You can get whichever, you can see these are older brushes, and it's falling up. I don't know where I got this brush from. I have some brushes. I don't know where I have them all. The names are kind of faded out. But I'm going to grab a smaller brush, and I want to paint in her lips. Go ahead and get her lips painted in so that it can be drying while I'm painting other things so that I can get it all done. So I wet my brush and I dipped it in. If you don't have a red, whichever color that you choose, a red or just whichever color you choose for her lips to be, like maybe a red, darken it up with a little black or a little blue. But I am choosing a violet or a plum color here. This is what I'm choosing. I don't know how this is gonna look because I can't remember what color I used on her before. So like I said, you can still see the outline, and you might have chosen to paint around those lines so that you can see them, but I'm just gonna come on top. Come on top with that color. Now you guys keep in mind that this is fun art, not fine art. So nothing has to be perfect, nothing is exact, because you keep in mind that God gave us all different vision, different sight, and we're not all going to see the same things the same. So there's no way that your painting is going to look exactly like mine and vice versa, because we all have different sight. Nothing is exact. This is abstract art. Abstract art is subjective, right? So don't even worry about how you feel like whether it looks like something or not. So I've put the first layer, and that's one of the things also with me painting it brown, giving it a brown base. It makes the color of her lips a little richer with that brown base, right? So, but I mean, it's fine with the white if you did not paint your lips in. The only thing, it's just going to give it doesn't have the, like I said, the brown base. So you might have to put more than one layer, and it just might maybe have a different a shade to it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry while I move on. I'm going to mix some black and white to get a gray color. So that's what I'm going to use for my shadows. All right, how are those lips looking? And then if you don't think your lips are dark enough, we can put another layer on our lips. But again, keep in mind, like I said, if you want it darker and the lips are still wet, all you're going to do is push the paint around and it's not going to get a shade lighter. So let that dry, and then if you want to put another layer on, you can do that. So now, like I said, I want to mix in some black and white, and I already have my colors on my tray. So I want to add a little bit of a shadow on there. So I am going to grab some white. Can you guys see that I grabbed a little bit of white? And I know it's a little bit messy on my thing, so now, hindsight, you guys are not going to be able to. So I grabbed a little bit of black and a little bit of white, and I'm just mixing that up on my palette. See that? And I'm going to add a little bit of water because I want it to be kind of thin. I want it to be a heavy. Honestly, I can't remember how I made that shadow, but let's go with it. So I mixed it up, and I'm dipping my brush in the water. And I didn't dab it or anything. And I'm mixing that. So I want a little bit of gray, and I want it kind of thin. So after you mix, you're probably going to have a lot of paint on your brush. So now I'm trying to take and spin it a little bit to get some of the excess paint out of it, because I don't want to put a lot of paint on it one time. So you see the line underneath her chin? That's where I'm going to start. And add that shadow there. See it there? Come around the palm of her hand to bring it on down. Okay. So I am trying to blend a little bit. Okay. So if it's like if you think it's too dark, you can come back on top with the brown that you use to make. So actually I'm okay with the shade that it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of shade shadow on her palm next to her cheek. I'm gonna make it a little bit rounder here, because if you think about your palm, you think about your palm dipping in. So I'm making it kind of round there. Kind of coming along her face because it's going to be a shadow. And then also still underneath her chin. Okay? I bring it out a little bit. And I don't have a lot of paint on my brush. As you can see, the more I paint, the thinner it's getting. So, and I'm also going to put some on the underarm. Under her arm here. Okay, can you guys see that? And like that's kind of dark. I'm okay with it, but if you're not okay with it, you're going to go in and grab the whatever color that you used for her complexion. You can come on top of that thin layer, and it will lighten it up a little bit. You can use that to blend it if you're not happy with, if you think it's too dark. I don't want it black, guys. I just kind of wanted a dark gray. So I'm okay with that. I did put another layer on there. If you feel so inclined, you can. And since I did it under the neck, I'm just going to do the same thing under her chin, under her cheek where her palm is, and underneath her wrist. We have one more spot for a shadow. I missed that. But I want to let you catch up. Make sure you get your shadows in there. I'm going to grab my brush. I had actually already put it in the water. But I still want that gray. Again, I want it to be very translucent. And I want to put a little shadow under her lip. Start out small. Don't start big in case you want to. Okay, can you guys see that I put that? So now you have shadow under her chin, under her cheek, in the palm of her hand, and you can see that there. I'm going to show you my example. So you have the shadow here, here, and then underneath her wrist there. A little bit of shadow. If the light is kind of coming this way, you know it's going to be underneath there. And if you look, I do have a little bit of a shadow under her lip. And I just added that. Is that cool, guys? Are you on board? Next, I am going to paint this background. So pretty much everything up here is going to be her hair. So, but this area will be left not covered. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to still use my gray mixture. My gray mixture here. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit and add a little bit of, I'm going to add a lot of white paint. I want to brighten it up a little bit. So if you look at my example, you want to see that the area is gray. And it doesn't have to be even. I like the texture so you can see that it's kind of streaky. And I went up and down. You can go horizontal up and down, but if you go horizontal, make it all horizontal. If you go vertical, make it all vertical. I just like the texture. It kind of gives it depth. As you can see that the way that's going, it looks like she kind of comes off the page a little bit. So I've mixed my black, my gray and white. Again, I'm going up here. I might go up too far, but keep in mind that her hair. So I'm just gonna get this edge really good, and then come down here because we know that this area is going to be area is going to be, and her hair is probably going to come down. See, I think her hair comes down to right here. So if you just get this area here, down here, and then keep, remember what I said about wrapping the painting around the side. Make sure you get that side as well. See, I mean right here. Get that side, the top, the hair will wrap around there. And then here at the bottom. So, and then again, you decide how long you want your hair. You might want long hair and bring it down here, or even further. You decide. And even here, I stopped here. You can bring it down longer and have her have long hair coming down her shoulder, whichever you decide, either way. I'm just swiping, making sure you guys are caught up with me. Okay, I always like to stop and say, how do you feel about your painting? How do you feel? Can you see her? I believe that we are creating magic. And so that's what we're doing. We're creating magic. All right. So I'm going to, you don't really have to wash your brush out. We're getting ready to paint her hair, and it's just going to be black. So whether you have that white in there or not, it's not really going to matter. So I'm using black for her hair. You know, I do add a little color, hence the title of the painting is Add a Little Hair Color. But if you would like to go brown, use brown. You can use brown. I've seen it where you could use a lighter brown, and then we can add the white twirls and kind of have her have blonde hair, and whichever you decide, the dark brown, black, either way would look super cute. I don't know what my motivation was when I chose the black, but it wasn't so much that you know, sometimes you just never know what the painting's going to be until the end, and that's one of those situations where. So now I am painting that black, bringing that in, because I'm going to go ahead and hit my edges. You know, you have to go slow and take your time on the edges. So then when I get my edges out of the way, then I can just go crazy with the brush. So that's the reason I'm starting here. But you start in the hair where you feel comfortable. And so also here, I brought her hair here. And so now, just half at it. I'm back to using, I'm switching. I had the smaller brush. Now I'm back to my bigger brush. I like the bigger, wider brush because it covers more area faster. So we're just I'm gonna get this covered up here, and okay, just filling in the all right, you guys, be thinking about what we can paint next month. So I'm always open for ideas. So, and as I paint this, I am kind of hitting my edges, my sides. I'm wrapping it around because like I said, I do have it this laid out so I can protect my surface. So again, this video, if you weren't able to join me at 6:30, this video will be saved along with all the other paintings that I do teach are saved under the video section of my page, this page here, guys. So if you didn't start at 6:30, you want to go back, you are definitely welcome to do that. And everything is free. Everything on my site is free to join in. I do offer paint kits that you can grab, that I supply everything that you need, and also a pre-drawn canvas so that you can paint at home. This one, if you don't have, I am going to add this in my store. I'll post it where you can purchase. My kits are normally $25. I'm going to charge this one for $15. It's a special since we're paying it tonight. If you guys would like, if anyone would like to grab a kit, and you don't need to purchase all your paint, everything comes with it. So I'm kind of getting down to the face area. I'm up here. So I'm starting to get down to the face area. And I'm going to give it a little bit of, see, that's where I am stopping her hair there. And it looks very angular, right? But I'm going to take my brush and start kind of making it curls with it, like swooping the paint to make curls. Can you guys see that I do that? So it's not like it's so it's not like it's how I had it before, like it was a straight line down, but I kind of made it curly. Okay, can you see that? Make it by just a half circle with my brush, making half circles. And I'm going to kind of do that on her face as well to bring you guys see that I did that around her, see the half circles. You guys see that? And it's okay if it's not uniform. You know our hair is not always in place. It's okay if a few strands are out of place. And you guys know, if you don't see the red rectangle, you know you are watching a replay, and you're welcome to paint along on the replay. If you could just hit hashtag replay if you are watching the replay, I would appreciate it. But if you're live, then just stay live. Just keep watching it live. All right, guys. Boy, her hair looks good. You can see, like, because I took my brush and made like little circles, like I said, like half circles, like the letter C. It actually kind of gives it a little bit of texture, as you guys can see. So actually we can roll with it right here and leave her hair like that. You know, that's entirely up to you. But I do love the color that we added. So of course I'm going to add some color. So just kind of let you catch up a little bit. I know it's going to be so much fun doing the hair, making sure you're the letter C, curling it. I keep doing it in the air. I don't know if you guys can see me curl. C, 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 and that's what I did to make the curls. And I am done with my large brush, but I am still using my black. I want to go back to my smaller brush. You guys will probably have a pointer brush, will probably be better for you. Let me see. And this one, let me see if it looks pointy. Like, yeah, one of these, if you want a pointer brush, you know, like when we're going to outline her lips. So you might want to grab that kind of brush, whichever works for you, whatever's comfortable for you. So we're going to I'm only going to outline the bottom lip between the shadow and her lip color. I see that. I don't know if you can see that. I just the underline, and then also the line, just the corner. Just outline the corner, and then the top. I didn't bring this all the way across her top lip. I did not do that, but they should be a line like in between her two lips. If you guys, I can't see my lines, I can't lie. So I'm just kind of improvising that line is there. It's curved a little bit, because you know the middle of your lip right there curves down a little bit. So I'm going to curve a little bit. There. I've outlined her, just the bottom lip, and then the one in the middle. The line, put a line in between her two. I don't think yes, I did. I started that darn thing. Okay, so, and also, I did add a little bit of rouge over here on her cheek, but I didn't know if I liked it or if I put it up high enough, but you are welcome to add that there. And I did kind of water that down as well, because I didn't want it to be like heavy. So I just used a really wet brush and dipped it in the color that I used for her lips. And like I said, I don't know if you can see how watery that is. And then I put so I'm not good at putting on makeup. So I think her cheekbone, the bottom of her cheekbone would be just right about here. See, I don't really like it. That's why I didn't put it on there. So I'm gonna, it's still there, but I'm gonna use my finger to blend. So it kind of took it away, which is fine with me. I don't like it. You put it on there if you like. That's what that's for. Okay? So I'm ready to work on her hair. And I used the color to add this the hair. I use this, it's the same color paint for her complexion is what I use in her hair, and also with white. Okay, so I kind of went in and I used this color, and it looks like, it doesn't even look like it's the same color paint, but it is, because like I said, it has to do with what the background is. The background was white, so that makes it a little bit lighter. When you come here, the background is darker, so it changes the color. And so that's all I did for that. And so you decide which pattern, if you want to cover the whole thing, however you want to do that. So, and I just did squiggly lines, like little circles. Circle, 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 circle. Can you see that? Where I did a circle, 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 circle. Watch, I don't know if you can tell on screen how I'm moving my circle, 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 circle. That. You can see how it's lighter here and it gets kind of fades out. I kind of want that to be opposite. So how about if I start at the bottom and go up? Because I want it to thin it out as I go up in a heavier. So I'm going to go ahead and You guys see that? I don't know if my left-handed kind of covers up what I'm trying to do, but that's what I did. And I also have white, and I didn't rinse, and I just kind of alternated. Like I threw a little white in there on some of them or all of them. You know, you change your hair color, it sometimes changes.
Dinner's ready.
It is okay. It kind of changes your complexion almost when you have different hair color. So I am going around the edge here, and it's not uniform. It's just kind of here and there. Just knocked over something. Oh. So I have that. Now I'm gonna go on top with some white, and it's okay if the white blends in. It's okay. Because if you look at my example, it's not all white in there, and it's some of the brown. I just kind of alternate. Guys, can you see that? And some of them are kind of close, but I don't want them too close because I don't want because I want those my squiggly lines to be kind of separated. Okay. And so now I got that row there, and on my example, I did start another row here. I left a little dark space there, but again, this is your painting, and this when you're putting these little details on at the end, that's where it's most important to add your little twist. Add you. Make it your own painting. Something that says, oh yes, she painted that. This is your painting. You can put that there on you. So that is what I am doing now. Kind of a squiggly, and don't get me wrong, I'm not doing each individual squiggly. I am kind of you know, sometimes I'm just like zigzaggy. So, you know, what works best for you. Now adding I did it with my brown color. Now I'm coming back on top with a little bit of well, not a little bit of, but adding in white. Putting little white highlights in there. Okay. So it looks a little bit uniform, guys. I don't like that. So I'm gonna try to so just kind of wiggly, ziggly lines. Look kind of uniform to me, so I wanted to break it up a little bit. So I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same thing that I did with the other side of her hair. But this side, I'm not going to be so uniform. Okay, see that? This one, I ain't gonna lie, what happened is I was like, woo, this is a whole lot. So I didn't do as many on this side as I did on the other side. So I was like, woo. So now my swirlies are kind of going to zigzaggies. I'm going to put a few swirlies on here too, guys. so it won't look so lopsided. That's the fun part, that hair, guys. Okay, I guess I got lost in my painting and I stopped talking. All right. Okay. Just breaking it up a little bit. How's she looking, guys? How's she looking? Sometimes, you know, it's just like in life. Sometimes you get too close to things and it's right here in your face, and so now when you're painting, you're really up close. Look, I'm doing these things like you can see me, but I put my hand up to my face, and sometimes you might be too close because you're trying to get in and see the detail, add the details in life and try to add things, and you're too close to things. Sometimes you have to stop and sit back a little bit. And, you know, sometimes I'll take mine and pick it up and hold it back. Hold it at arm's length. Totally different view. And you're like, oh, wow. Yes. Yes. Oh, wow. And that's the same thing with it. You know, when you're in here, you're trying to get those squigglies in her hair. And you just get excited, get carried away. Okay. So I'm done with the hair. I'm done with her hair. That's the only thing about, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the online. But the only thing about the online is that I can't see everybody's painting. Sometimes I can go around and say, hey, add this, take this away, and you can't. And that's the only thing about the lives. But when I do the Zooms, sometimes the ladies hold up their painting and says, hey, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this. What do you suggest? And they can hold it up and I can kind of look at it. But in this situation, I can't see anything. And that's what I do. If I can't be in person, the Zoom painting sessions are pretty nice because I can still kind of see the ladies' paintings. They can hold those up. And also, we normally do a group painting, and this is a time that we're not going to be able to do a group painting as well. So hopefully you're finishing up with the swirlies in her hair, and I want to put some highlights on her lips. I want to add a little highlight to her lips, and I'm going back to my smaller, still with my smaller brush. I'm sure you guys hopefully have the round tip brush, and I'm going to grab my white paint, my brush and my white paint. I'm not going to overload too much white, and that's why, guys, sometimes if you have, I see people when they have their brush and the paint is all the way down here on your brush, it's harder to control the paint when you have it, your whole brush is covered. And so I'm using the tip. I've washed all my paint out. I'm using the tip, and I'm going to kind of pat, like touch the white paint on there, because I don't want to swipe paint, because I don't want it to be a heavy. I just trying to get highlights on her lips. Okay, there. Hopefully you guys can see where I put that paint. Okay. All right. Those lips look gorgeous. And I know yours do too. Just gorgeous. bet those lips look gorgeous, guys. And this is a time, and don't forget, even with the hair, if you plan on hanging your painting, you want to make sure that you wrap that around your edges. I didn't get all of it, but if you're going to hang your painting, you can finish that up. Go ahead and get that covered there. Okay, make sure you get that. And that kind of wraps it up for me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, because I've enjoyed having you and talking to you. It's all one-sided, but a sister can talk enough to fill a conversation for multiple people. So that works out for me. I would love to see your painting, guys. Please send it to me. You can send it in Messenger. You can text it to me. You can post it on my page. I would love that too. Or you can reply to the email that I sent you, and just, you know, let me see your painting so we can be painting twins. I love it. I love it. Okay, I have. Thank you so much, Danielle. I would appreciate that, to send me a painting, the results, since I can't be there to see it. All right, guys. Stay tuned. I'll try to come up with something for February. Give me some ideas or whatever. It doesn't just have to be hearts, because of course everybody's gonna think hearts. I'm really thinking Mardi Gras. So let's do something Mardi Gras. How about that? That's what I'm going to go for. Whether it's Mardi Gras or not, we're going to go with Mardi Gras. So that's what we'll be doing next month. And I'll be trying to get that event set up set the event up this week for next month's painting. So guys, thank you for painting with me. And if you have any suggestions or ideas, any comments, anything that you need to get to me, you can comment. When you guys are commenting on my page, it'll give you the option to like, comment, or send a message. You can do it that way if you need to contact me. Thanks, guys. Come back anytime. I will talk to you later. Peace. Oh, all right. Thanks, guys, for painting with me, and I will see you next time. I've enjoyed having you. Thank you so much. Good night.